Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. It's a brother Tazamak from the GMS Austin branch, and today's lesson, I want to go into the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 2, regarding the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Jehoshaphat, however to pronounce that. We know in the Hebrew is Jehoshaphat. Okay, because, we understand we're in the times of Matthew 24, well, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We see how the Lord is stirring up the nations in the Middle East, because ultimately the third woe is going to be taking place in the Middle East. All right, let's get, man, what's going on with my phone? Salakia. Revelation 11 and 14 real quick, and Lord willing, this is edifying to the body. Okay, let's get Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And the word woe goes back to the Greek word G3759. Yes, G3759, OIE, which means outline of biblical usage, Allah's and woe. So sudden, it says primary exclamation of grief. So suddenly, woe means, in other words, exclamation of grief, a sudden destruction. All right. Let's get Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. All right. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So possessive noun, my people, and for my heritage Israel, which the nation of Israel today consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so let's get this word Jehoshaphat. Goes back to the Hebrew word H3092, Jehoshaphat, which means Yahweh has judged, or Yahweh Shaphat, or Shapat, Salakia means judge. All right, so this is going to be Yahweh's judgment against, as we read, against the nations, the heathen nations, and he will plead for his people, the Israelites. All right, so let's get some precepts. Like I said, Lord willing, this is edifying. Now let's see who these heathen nations are, okay? Because these heathen nations ultimately are the Lord's enemies. All right, so we're going to go through the book of Psalms 83 real quick. In the NLT, it says a psalm of Asaph. It says, O Yahweh, do not be silent, do not be deaf, do not be quiet, O the Most High Yahweh. Don't you hear the uproar of your enemies? Don't you see that your arrogant enemies are rising up? They devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against your precious ones. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. We will destroy the very memory of its existence. Yes, this was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as allies against you. You see? So when we go to Joel 3 and 2, where it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Well, those heathen nations, All right, those nations that the Lord is going to plead with are in Psalms 83 and verse 6, the enemies of the Lord, the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, okay, the Ammonites, Amalekites, Hargarites, okay, Gibeonites, all right. Ultimately, the ones that we see in power, North Korea, Iran, all right, Russia, Babylon, ultimately America will be destroyed, all right. So that's why the Lord is stirring up these nations in the Middle East to gather them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, where he will judge them. Zechariah 2 and 8, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. So you've touched the nation of Israel, you've touched the firstborn, ultimately, you know, the chosen nation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. And how is the Lord going to plead with these nations? Let's get Isaiah 66 and verse 16 real quick. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. We read Joel 3 and 2 that he's going to plead with all nations and gather them over there in the valley. It says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. You see, and this isn't what they teach you in these churches, man, these harlot houses, man. They ain't going to teach you that the Lord is coming to judge the nations. They're teaching you that he's coming maybe to rapture some good old Christians, you know, which is nonsense. All right, Isaiah 66 and verse 16 again. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. The slain of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall be many. Okay, Revelation. Actually, let me get Obadiah 1 and 15. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is near upon all the heathen. All the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So that all the work that these heathens have put in to destroy us, to cut us as a memory, they're going to reap what they sowed ultimately. It's going to be done unto them how they did unto us, man. Ultimately, the Lord Yahushai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is going to avenge his elect. Okay? And lead them into captivity. Ultimately, they're going to serve captivity. Revelation 13 and 10. We're going to end it with this one. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is a patience and the faith of the saints. And that's ultimately what we're looking for to, what's this verse? In the book of Isaiah, I believe I said I was going to close it with that one, but I believe it's Isaiah 14 and verse 2, straight to the point. Isaiah 14 and verse 2, and the people shall take them, the people are the Israelites, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. You see, so we're going to take the heathen nations into captivity, as Revelation 13 and 10 stated. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, and the saints are the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, according to the book of Psalms 50 and 5. Okay, so Lord willing, this was edifying. I just wanted to go into ultimately what the Lord is going to do in the valley of Jehoshaphat, and the reason why he's going to plead with all nations, all these heathen nations, because they've touched the apple of the Lord's eye, which are the Israelites. Okay? So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. Until the next one, Shalom.